Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning on. We're gonna start. We're just gonna take like a couple breaths in child's pose, and then we're gonna get up and get into standing. So instead of starting in standing, which I really hate to do, I'd rather kind of like relax and be closer towards the ground to start. So if you want to come into maybe kind of whatever child's pose feels good, you can have the knees wide, kind of sink everything down in between the knees, or the knees can be touching, and you're kind of folding over the legs. So it's up to you, whatever you want to do. Arms can kind of be wrapping around the legs or pulling out in front. This is what class is this? This is Vinyasa. So it's poses that you know and that you've done before. It's just kind of flowing them all together. So if you ever feel like you maybe don't want to take a flow, you can kind of just get into whatever pose you're going to, or you can always take a child's pose, which is the beauty of online teaching because I don't see you. So definitely don't feel, if you need to just kind of catch your breath, not really that you need to, but the option is always there. So a couple breaths here, maybe about 10. Just kind of feeling that the back is just kind of relaxing down. It's not really tense and holding yourself up. You're just trying your best to kind of sink over the legs. The toes can be untucked or tucked, whatever feels better for you. Probably can. I cannot wait to get back into the studio and like play music while teaching that you guys can actually hear. That'll be great. So taking a couple stretches out through the arms, dropping the head low. Maybe the forehead comes to the ground, maybe it doesn't. And since you're really kind of condensed and compressed into like almost like a little ball, I guess you could say, you're going to take really deep inhales, really deep exhales, just to kind of settle it, get in, getting that breath on a little bit of a rhythm, a slow rhythm. You want to try to take this rhythm of breath throughout your whole practice. That's the kind of trick with Vinyasa classes, is you really want to focus on breathing as much as you're focusing on moving, which can be a little tough because sometimes you forget to breathe and we just do it automatically, but you kind of want to keep it in the back of your mind. Just to always put a little bit more focus into it. You kind of see a difference on how the body moves and how you go from one pose to the next. You want it to be nice and fluid and nice and smooth, but if it's not, it's okay too. About 3 more breaths. And then taking that last one. And then we're going to skip tabletop for now. We're going to come back to it. We're going to go all the way up to forward fold top of the mat. So you just kind of roll yourself on and up to the top. And then separating the feet, taking everything a little bit wider for ragdoll. So bending the knees. I always like to kind of intertwine my arms and then really sink everything down, looking all the way back behind you. Start to feel that little stretch behind the knees, kind of feeling the low back decompress a little bit. Which means it's not really holding anything up. Everything is falling out in front of you. You can sway or not sway, staying still or moving. Usually the first forward fold feels a little bit tight. We should probably feel a difference between this forward fold and the last one we do. One more breath. And then heel-toeing the feet back underneath the hips so they're not touching, but they have about a hand's distance between them. And then keeping the knees bent, kind of relaxing the chest over the thighs, and then rolling your way all the way up to standing. All the way up. Head and the neck are the last thing to pull up. Arms reach up once you get there. And then we're going to intertwine the fingers. You're going to keep the palms facing down, and you're going to take the palms on top of the head. So it just kind of looks like this. I know I'm kind of cut off and you can't see me, but the more you press down to the top of the head, you're going to lift the top of the head up into the hands. So you're standing nice and tall, kind of feeling all the way from the feet down into the ground. Shoulders are kind of falling away from the ears the more you're pressing the hand into the head. Elbows are opening out, chest is pulling in. One more breath. And then inhale, flip the palms and reach the palms all the way towards the sky, keeping the fingers intertwined. So we're stretching through the arms, getting a little bit taller. I like to move around a little couple side bends, side to side maybe. And then we're coming back to that forward fold. So as you let go of the fingers, the arms will come out by the side and then you'll come all the way down. Bend the knees, take the arms behind you. We're lifting up to chair pose, but it's gonna be a flowy chair. So as you inhale and lift up, you're sinking the hips down. And then exhale, it's like a couple like bounces, I guess you could say, coming down, lifting up. Coming down, lifting up. So all the tension out of the wrists are coming out, the hands are moving around, maybe the fingers are crunching, wrists are nice and fluid, same with the elbows. Take 3 more of those. 2, last one. And then inhale, coming up to standing, last big stretch once you get it to the top. And then dropping the hands down to the ground, stepping the feet and the knees back to tabletop. And then the hands are gonna be a little bit wider. I want to take some big hip circles, so just taking the hips around. Kind of pelvis comes down towards the ground. Hips towards the heels, shoulders over the palms. And switching directions, keep it going. So you kind of have that breath now from that flowing from chair pose. So kind of keep it in the same rhythm. One more. And then back to the center. You're going to slide the palms right under the shoulders. I'm going to tuck the toes. And we're flowing from cat-cow. So we're going to inhale, kind of like swoop yourself forward, and then exhale to roll back and round back. Inhale to come forward, lift the chest. Exhale, round back. Leo. Okay. Bending the elbows, kind of flow into the front, flow into the back, so you find the arch, and then you find the round in the spine. Good. 2 more flows. Last one. And then whenever you're done with that last flow, you're going to come into puppy pose. So you're going to walk the knees back a little bit. Take the hands forward, and the hips should stay over the knees as the hands fall forward. So child pose is more back here. Puppy pose is more kind of dragging all the weight to the hands. Taking 3 breaths here, feeling the hips pull back. Last one. And then walking the knees in all the way up towards the wrist. You're coming onto the back, so you can spin the feet around once they get all the way up to the top. And then you're coming all the way down onto the back. Knees pull into the chest. Wrap the arms around the shins. Take it side to side. And then we're going into that figure 4 stretch. So we're going to take the right ankle on top of that left thigh, right below the knee. And then reaching through, I like to grab a hold of the shin. You can always grab a hold of the thigh. And I like to roll through this, but you can definitely stay still if it feels better for the back, or better for the right hamstring. But on your exhales, you're going to try to pull that left knee into the chest a little bit more. So maybe inhales, you kind of hold it there. Exhales, maybe see if you can get a little bit more. One more breath here. And then you're going to keep the ankle crossing. You're going to come back to the middle. And then we're going to extend the left leg straight. I guess arms could be up to a tear down by the side. I guess you figure out what you want to do. And then keeping this right ankle and this right knee pressing away, you're going to lower the left leg. I guess arms down by the side might be a little easier. And then inhale to lift it up. Exhale, bring it low. Inhale to lift it up. Just all hip flexor, hip strength going on. Good. 3 more. I guess it's ab work too. I'm kind of threw in there secretly. For 2. And for 1. And then into happy baby. So you're going to grab a hold of the outside of the right foot, grab a hold of the outside of the left foot, then the knees down into the sides. And then flex the feet and really feel that you're kind of keeping the heels over the knees a little bit. And then other side, we're crossing the left ankle on top of the right thigh. We're going to reach through. There's so many other places you can lay down. And then I like to grab a hold of the shin, take it side to side. Exhales to pull deeper, keeping the back of the head on the ground. The chin up towards the sky just a little bit. One more breath. And then right leg extends up towards the sky, arms down by the sides, and we're lowering down 5 or 6 times. Exhale to lower that leg, keep that ankle pressing against that thigh, lifting up. Coming down. Down. Take 3 more. Last one. And then you're going to that happy baby, grabbing the outsides of the feet, pulling the knees down. Maybe if the shoulder blades come a little bit more heavier to the ground, so the shoulders want to press down, kind of getting into the triceps. And then dropping the feet down on the ground, you're going to windshield wiper the knees side to side. That should be a really good release in the inner thighs, inner legs. And then you're taking a few rock and rolls. If it's okay to take a rock and roll, take it. If not, you're coming up to seated. So if you got the rock and rolls, take a couple. And then once you come to seated, we're going to Navasana. So we're coming to bow pose. You can definitely hold on to the thighs and pull the knees into the chest. Kind of really get seated into those sit bones just so you kind of feel balanced if you're in the middle a little bit, so just so you're not kind of rolling all the way back and rounding the back. You want a nice flat, or not flat, but straight spine. Maybe you can let go of the legs, maybe you can take them up, maybe extend the legs. Thank you. Good. 3 more breaths here. Keep lifting the heels, keep stretching the fingers forward, lifting up to the crown of the head, just like that feeling of pressing down, but lifting up into it. Good. And then dropping the feet, we're gonna take the hands behind us, fingertips point towards the hips, and lifting up for upside down tabletop. Inhale, coming up, little bend in the elbows, lifting the hips. And then you're gonna take that side to side. So just kind of bring the hips down, swing to the left, swing to the right. And then dropping the hips, spinning the feet around. We're coming to our first down dog. No vinyasa, shockingly. Coming all the way back, downward facing dog. So first one, might feel like that first forward fold where it just feels really tight, really stiff. So bending the knees and moving the legs a lot. Stretching the hips back, pressing really heavy down into the ground. Looking back towards the toes, all that weight comes out of the neck. And then we're gonna take the left leg up. We're gonna bend the knee and flex the foot so that left foot reaches over to the right side a little bit. One more breath. Left foot steps up in between the hands for low lunge so that right knee comes down and the right toes can stay tucked. And then we're inhale and coming all the way up with the arms for low lunge. So you want to make sure that that knee isn't crossing past the ankle, the left knee. You're kind of taking it right over the ankle. Same thing, intertwine the fingers. We're going to take them on top of the head and really press kind of this right hip flexor back. So the more you lift up and stretch up, you're going to kind of get more of a straight angle on that back knee. Good. One more breath here. Sink the shoulders if you're close to the ears. You want to find the length kind of through the side body and not so much the shoulders. And then flip the palms. Inhale to lift everything up towards the sky. Take a little side bend over to the left side. A little side bend to the right side, which may be a little bit harder. Coming back to the center, hands come down. We're gonna take it to runner's stretch, so just gonna kind of take the weight off that back knee. Front toes can lift, front leg is a little bit straighter. All right, now as we come forward back to low lunge, you're gonna tuck the back toes, lift that back knee. You're gonna take this right foot and step it behind the left ankle so the right foot steps up to the left side. Crossing to the left. And then bending the knees, sinking back down into that forward fold. We're gonna take a couple twists, but they're like full twists. So hands are gonna come over to the right. You're gonna keep spinning to the right. Lift the heels, keep spinning, keep spinning. Keep spinning, keep spinning. Eventually you might have to move the feet a little bit and you're kind of back where we started. Going the other way, hands go to the left side, spinning around and around and around and around and around. Good. Inhale, you're gonna take a halfway lift, hands are gonna come on top of the shins, still with the feet crossed, that's the tricky part. And then exhale, we're gonna drop the hands and step the right foot back to where it came from. So back to that low lunge. Left knee back to the right knee in tabletop. And then now we're taking a little baby flow. So chaturanga elbows pull in and come all the way down to the ground. Inhale, lift the chest up for little baby cobra. Doesn't have to be much. And then exhale, up and back, down dog. Tuck in the toes, lift it all the way up. All right, right leg lifts, bend the knee, flex the foot, kind of press the bottom of that foot over to the left side. And then that right foot steps up to the top of the mat. You're in low lunge, left knee down, back left toes are tucked. Inhale to come up. Intertwine the fingers, take the palms on top of the head, so elbows are kind of pointing out to the sides. And the more you press up and lift up, you're sending that left hip flexor, not forward, but back. One more breath here. Keeping the fingers intertwined, we're gonna lift or flip the palms, lift the arms all the way up. We'll take a side bend over to the right side, so you can keep the low body nice and still, so the legs really aren't moving a lot. Over to the left side. Back to the center, hands come down. We're going to that runner stretch just to take the weight out of that back knee a little bit. Full breath. And then as you come back forward, as you come forward, not backward, forward into low lunge, tuck the back toes, lift that back knee, and you're sending this left foot behind the right ankle over towards the right side, bend the knees, and just kind of fold over the legs. You're gonna take the hands all the way over to the left side. You're gonna keep spinning to the left, keep spinning, keep spinning. You're going all the way around, all the way around. Good. Hands over to the right, spin it all the way, all the way. And then back to the front. Left foot steps back to where we started, into that low lunge. Right knee comes to meet the left knee. You're coming all the way down into the chest, so bend the elbows, press them into the sides, press with the tops of the feet, bring the shoulders down as you lift up for cobra. And then exhale, up and back, downward facing dog. Good. 2 more breaths, shake it out, do what you need to do. It doesn't have to be super still. Good. Looking up, top of the mat, you're gonna bend the knees, keep the hips high, and walk or hop the feet all the way up to the top. Halfway lift, inhale, nice flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Rising all the way up to standing. Couple straight down to star A's. Exhale, forward fold, coming all the way down, bend the knees. Halfway lift, hands on the shins. Exhale, drop the hands, step it back to plank. Chaturanga halfway or lower the knees all the way down to the belly. Inhale, cobra or up dog if you went into that chaturanga. And then exhale, up and back, down dog. 3 breaths. Looking up, top of the mat, little hop or a couple steps. Into that halfway lift, pull the crown of the head forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to rise all the way up. Keep going, exhale, forward fold. Get that breath together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, drop the hands, step the feet all the way back to plank. Chaturanga, halfway or to the belly. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Big exhales, really take all that air all the way out. Almost like taking a sigh out. 1 more. Couple steps, a little hop, bend the elbows, press through the fingertips, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising all the way up. Good, keep going, forward fold all the way back down to Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway. Exhale, step it back to plank. Chaturanga, to the belly maybe, cobra or up dog. Big inhale to send you up. Big exhale to send you back. flow from sun cells generate a lot of heat. So if you're already sweating, that's okay. Then looking up top of the mat, a couple steps, a little hop. Once you're there, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to rise all the way up. We're going to take one more. Exhale, pull the hips back, send the chest forward and down. Halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step the feet back. Try to round it to the belly or halfway. Cold dog. Up dog. Exhale, downward facing. Looking up, top of the mat, couple steps, little hop. Halfway lift. Exhale. Inhale to rise up. Good. All right, separate the feet just a little bit. Just a little. And then we're going to sink all the way down to sitting on the heels. So if the heels have to lift up, to sink all the way down to try to find balance, to kind of take in a little squat towards the front. Definitely use the fingers if you need it for balance. If you don't need the fingers for balance, trying your best. We're gonna let's do the intertwine of the fingers. So intertwine the fingers. I like to flip the palms, but that's just me. So as you take the arms forward, you're gonna round the back. So the hips are gonna pull forward, the knees are gonna be pulling kind of down towards the front edge of the mat. And as you inhale and lift up, this becomes kind of like your cow pose. So you have a little bit of an arch. You definitely don't have to have the fingers intertwined. It's not happening to the shoulders. Exhale to round and pull forward. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to pull forward. Inhale to pull up. We're doing one more. Exhale. Inhale, coming up. Good. Drop the hands down to the ground. Maybe flip the palms up and have the fingertips point towards the toes. You just kind of stretch out the wrists a little bit. All right, and then palms will come back on the ground. We'll step it back to tabletop. So if you want to lift the hips, step the left knee back, step the right knee back. And take the hips side to side. So maybe relax the toes. Take the hips to the right. Nice big stretch. Over to the left side. And just go side to side. All right, come back to the center. Just kind of pedal out the tops of the feet. Maybe like press into the mat a couple times. And then we're up and back for down dog. Up and back. And we're going to take some flows from down dog to plank, back to down dog, so no chaturanga. Inhale, roll, forward plank. Up and back, down dog. So I like to bend the knees and pull the hips back. Inhale, roll forward. Bend the knees, lift the hips. Or you can just kind of go forward, up and back. Forward, up and back. Whatever you want to do. Two more. Last one. Good. Back to down dog. Left leg lifts. We're going to set that left foot up in between the hands and get it back for runner's lunge. So step that foot, drop the knee, and pull the weight back into that runner stretch. Good. So you're going to take these back right toes, bring them to the left side of the mat as you spin to face the right side of the mat. So you went from facing the front, right toes to the left side of the mat, spinning to the right, and inhale coming up, that left knee will be bent. Good. Right hand's going to drop down to the back of the mat. Left arm comes up, maybe up and over the head. If you want to lift that left leg up, you can. And then dropping that left foot back, taking the arms back up towards the sky, left knee is bent. Left forearm comes to the front left thigh. Right arm side stretches, just like you're doing side angle in warrior two. Good. And then both hands come on the hips. You're gonna take this leg straight, so just kind of scoot the left toes now to the front of the mat. Good. Right hand stays on hip, left arm is gonna side bend over. Left hand comes on hip, right arm side bends over. Side to side. Pulling the core in, tucking the hips underneath you. A nice fluid flow. Maybe inhale for one, exhale for the other. One more time. And then that left hand is going to come down either to the thigh, to the shin, to the ankle, and you're taking a bigger side stretch over that straight leg. So front toes can lift if it feels a little bit better. Back toes can tuck if you need a little bit more balance. Now look to the front of the mat. Drop both hands, kind of frame that left leg. The right toes are going to come back to the back of the mat. So we're right in that runner's lunge where we started. Left knee pulls back to the right knee. Tabletop, chaturanga to the belly, up and back for down dog. Inhale. Exhale, up and back. Right leg lifts. Right foot steps up in between the hands. You're into that runner's lunge. Left knee comes down. Walk the hands back. Right leg gets a little bit straighter. Maybe these don't feel as painful as I did the first time. As you kind of come forward, you're going to take the back left toes to the right side of the mat now. You're going to spin to the left side of the mat, so your new forward is to the left side. Right knee stays bent. Inhale to come all the way up, and we're facing the left side. If you want to move a little bit in this one, you can as you reach the arms all the way up. And then left hand comes to the back of the mat, so left hand comes down. Right arm stays up over the head. Maybe the leg goes straight, maybe the leg lifts. You can always grab the ankle. I forgot to tell you that last time, but you can definitely grab it if you'd like. Good. And then drop that foot. Inhale to come all the way back up. We're going for side angle, so right forearm comes on that right thigh, and you're taking that left arm up and over the head. And then hands come on the hips. That right leg is going to go straight. Scoot it all the way to the front of the mat. And then let's do the right arm first. So right arm up and over, side to bending away from that right leg. Right hand on the hip, left arm side bending towards that straight leg. Back and forth. One more time. And then that right hand is going to come a little bit lower down that right leg because you're taking a bigger side bend over that straight leg. Front toes can lift it. That's too much of a straight foot for you. Good. All right, looking down, dropping the hands, kind of framing that right leg. Right toes come back to the back of the mat. Right knee pulls back. Hands come down, chaturanga all the way down to the belly. Cobra, inhale. Exhale, up and back, downward facing dog. Nice, 3 breaths. Looking up, top of the mat, couple steps, little hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale for forward fold. Inhale to rise all the way up to standing. All right, left foot is going to step back for warrior one. So if you want, you can pull the left knee into the chest first. Give it a little pull up, straighten through that right leg. Get that knee as high as you can up there. And then with control, take the left toes all the way back to that warrior one.
So as you come back, you're gonna drop the left heel down. You're gonna try to take the hips forward. You're gonna bend through that front knee. And then inhale, bring the arms all the way up. Good. Humble warrior, so arms are gonna come to the back, behind you. Intertwine the fingers, pull the knuckles down, lift the chest, and then we're gonna hinge to the inside of that right knee. So maybe that right knee or that right shoulder is coming on top of that right knee just to give you a little bit of a break. Good. Look kind of forward towards the toes, release the fingers, drop the hand, both hands. Left heel spins up, we're going to low lunge, so I'm gonna scoot my back foot kind of back a little bit. Drop that left knee, right hand presses that right knee out to the right. Maybe the hips sink down, maybe they stay up a little bit. All right, from here we're going to left side plank. You thought I forgot about those side planks. I did not. So we're gonna tuck the back toes, press into that left hand and lift that left knee. Take that right foot, bring it back behind you and stack it on top of that left foot. This bottom knee can always come down if regular side plank is too much. Good. Holding it here, we're going side plank to side plank. Right side plank, pivot the feet, bottom knee can always come down. Left side plank. Right side plank. Left side plank. Right side plank. One more time, ending in left side plank. To the left. Take that right foot, cross behind you, over towards the left for a little wild thing, so stay on those right toes. Lift the hips up, right knee stays bent, left leg straight. Right arm over the head. Now you're going to the other side wild thing. So right hand can come down, right side plank. Bottom knee always comes down, so you're kind of almost doing the same thing, but that left foot just crosses behind you a little bit if you're taking the lower version of wild thing. If you're not, that left foot comes behind you to lift up. And we're going to take it one more time. Left side plank into left side wild thing. To right side plank, right side wild thing. Coming all the way down, plank, chaturanga, vinyasa, nice and slow. Upward facing. Exhale, down dog. Good. Left leg lifts, inhale, step it through for warrior two. Left foot in between the hands, back right heel down on that little angle with the foot. Inhale, coming up. Good. Inhale, arms come up, straighten the leg. Exhale, arms come back down to a T, bend the knee a couple times. Good. Next time you come back to warrior two, you're going to reverse. Right hand to the back, right thigh, or behind the back. Left arm lifts up and over the head. Big side bend over to the back foot. Side angle, left forearm, front left thigh. Right arm up and over the head. Looking down, dropping the hands, framing that foot, back heel up. Left knee back to tabletop or left foot back to plank, chaturanga. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, pulling back. Good. 2 more breaths. Couple steps, little hop, all the way to the top. Halfway. Exhale. Rising, up, standing. And then you can pull that right knee into the chest before we take it to warrior one. All right, right foot back to warrior one. Send that right foot all the way back there. Spin that right heel down, 2 different paths with the feet. It's a little bit easier on the hips. And then inhale, take the arms all the way up. Arms come behind, we'll intertwine the fingers, we'll take it to humble warrior. So reach the knuckles back towards that back ankle, hinge through the hips, send the chest forward, keep hinging, all the way down to the inside, hands come up and over the head. Looking into the left toes, so just kind of lift the head up just a little bit. Drop the hands, spin that right heel up, drop that right knee down, open up the left knee out to the left side. If you want, you can always grab that back ankle or back foot. You don't have to. My gift to you is we will not be doing the side planks because we've already done both sides and we've equaled everything out, so we're going to skip that. So from here, we're gonna go straight to warrior two. So drop the hand, left hand, kind of scoot that left foot back into the middle in between the hands. Right knee comes up, right heel spins down. We've already done the side, so take it back to down dog. I'm sorry. If you open up, it's the same time we already did. So take it to down dog. And then the right leg is gonna lift. Right foot up, right foot steps up in between the hands. Left heel comes down inside. And then open up. Now we should be facing the other side for warrior two, hopefully. Good. All right, straighten the leg, reach the arms all the way up. Take a few pulses. Never really locking the knee out when the leg goes straight, so just a little bend. Kind of feel the legs and the muscles work more to not kind of lock out. Good. Take one more, and then we're going to that reverse. So you'll come back to warrior two, left hand to the back, left thigh, or behind the back. It's a little bit harder if you want a little bit of a challenge. Good. Side angle, right forearm, right thigh, left arm lifts up and over the head. Good. All right, look down, frame the foot, which should be the right foot. Left heel comes up, you're either sending it back to tabletop to come to the belly, or plank to chaturanga. Cobra, or up dog, and exhale, down dog, all the way back. Okay, couple steps, little hop all the way to the top, but take the toes behind the wrists, which takes you into a little bit wider of a stance for ragdoll, and let it go. This is the relaxing pose. One more breath. And then rolling your way all the way up to standing, rolling up. Inhale to come up. And then spin the toes out, spin the heels in a little bit, and we're sinking down from Malasana. Heels can lift to sink into that squat, whatever you need to do. Side to side, knees open, hands down. Couple head rolls. If you're going for crow, you can definitely go for it. If you walk yourself back a little bit, definitely don't have to go for crow. If you want to prep for crow, that's a really good one too. So the feet are already wide, the hands are going to come forward. You're either going to take the knees to the backs of the arms or the outside and squeeze the knees in the arms and squeeze the arms into the knees. You kind of really make this kind of like lock with the knee. And then you can lift the hips and just kind of hold it here. I always take the knees on top of my arms. It just feels weird for the knees to be on the outside. And then you can just hold it here. So feel all the weight come out of the feet onto the hands. Maybe you lift one foot. See how that feels. Maybe lift the other foot. Maybe lift both feet. Maybe pull the heels in towards the hips. Stretch the chest forward. One more breath, whatever you're doing. And then back into that Malasana. Shake out the wrists. Good. And then we're lifting back to standing. I'm just gonna kind of like scoot myself forward a little bit, all the way up to standing. Inhale, really press up. Lift all the way up. Good. Arms come down, shake them out. Bend the knees, let go of the arms. Good. All right, so we're gonna take a little warrior 3 into a little bit of a crunch into a sitting pose. I don't think we've done this transition before, so we're gonna try it out. So top of the mat. Let's just do an easy warrior 3 transition. So left foot lifts, left foot all the way back behind you. Try to parallel that left leg with the hips, and you'll drop the chest. Pull the little belly up. So you try to get a little horizontal line in the back and with that left leg. Definitely take the hands to the ground and drop that left hip a little bit, just so it's a little warrior 3 prep if the balance isn't happening. Now we're going to pull back up to standing, knee into the chest, and then you're going to go back to your warrior 3. If it's the prep for the warrior 3 or the regular warrior 3. The left knee into the chest, arms can reach up, send it back to warrior 3. I'm going to take my arms behind me. Inhale to come up, knee into the chest, send it back to warrior 3. One more. Send it back to warrior 3. Drop the hands down to the ground. Take this left knee behind the right knee. It eventually comes down to the ground. And then it'll come all the way back into seated, and you're already ready for that seated twist, because that ankle is to the left side of that left thigh. If you didn't get there like that, this left knee is in half Sukhasana, but the left heel is really pulling over towards the right hip. Left ankle to the outside of the left thigh. We'll take a twist to the right. No, we're gonna take it to the right. Right hand to the back, left elbow can come to the inside of the knee, or you can just hold on to the knee or wrap the arm around the knee. Take a nice, big twist. Get that breath back. Big inhale. Big exhale, take the twist, a little bit more. All right, you're spinning back to the front. We're gonna get back up to that warrior 3. We're gonna try to get back up to that warrior 3. So I'm just gonna get my right foot forward just a little bit. And then you're gonna lift up, and that left leg is gonna be behind you, and you're gonna be standing on that right foot. Maybe take a little like, ready, 1, 2, 3. Inhale, come up. Back to warrior 3. Attempting, trying, breathing. And then left foot comes down, forward fold. We'll let it go. Good. Rolling all the way to standing, rolling, 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 all the way slow. Inhale, coming up. We'll take the right knee into the chest. Hold it there. Give a little pull, a little lift. And we're going back to that warrior 3. So send it back. Right leg back behind you. Try to keep it hip height. Try to drop the chest, pull the low belly in and up. And then knee into the chest. We're doing 4. For 4. Send it back. Warrior 3. For 3. Good. For 2. Woo. For 1. We're kind of doing 1 more after that. Come back, knee into the chest. Send it back to that warrior 3. Drop the hands down to the ground. This is a big transition. Right knee behind you, behind the left ankle. Drop it all the way down to the ground. Come into seated. And then that right heel should be pulling into that left hip. Right foot to the outside of the right thigh. And we're twisting to the left. Left hand behind. Right elbow in front or around. And you're trying to look over that left shoulder. So take a big breath in. Big exhale out. Get the twist coming through the ribs. And hold whatever you got. Hold here. This is really good. I'm going to pause. I gotta save this. Good. 2 more breaths. Anytime I hear a good song, I'm gonna sing it. After that second breath, we'll come back to face the front. Keep the legs where they are. Ready? You're going back to that warrior 3. Scoot that left foot forward a little bit. 1, 2, 3. Lift up. Right leg. Woo-hoo. Right foot drops down to meet the left foot. Forward fold. Nice. Inhale halfway. Exhale all the way down into seated, all the way down onto the back. Couple of rock and rolls if you'd like, only if you'd like. You have been moving this whole class. Good. And then coming all the way back, pull the knees into the chest. Good. Wrap the arms around. Okay. Arms out to a T. We're getting a little baby spinal twist, not really as long as we usually do them. Arms open out, palms can face up or down, don't really matter to me. Knees over to the left side. Got a breath. And then over to the right side. So you're just gonna flow back and forth, going as slow or as fast as you would like. Side to side. Two more times, each side. To the left, to the right, to the left, and to the right. Back to the center. Wrap the arms around the shins, pull the chin up to the chest up towards the thighs for 3. Coming down. Number 2, lifting up. Coming down. And that last one, lifting up. And coming down. The legs extend up towards the sky. Arms reach up like you're gonna touch the toes. And then a very slow lower all the way down. The legs and arms coming away from each other. Once you get there, take a nice big full body stretch. Inhale, lengthen through the legs, through the upper body. And then arms are gonna come down by the sides. Awesome job. Into a 1-minute Shavasana. Nothing too long, just kind of letting everything go. Send you on your way. Trying to find a little stillness, a softer breath. Closing the eyes, relaxing all the muscles in the face, and shoulders, and hips, and legs, and feet. Next inhale, pulling everything into the center, rolling out the wrists, rolling out the ankles. And then on your next exhale, you can roll over to your right side.
Pausing there, taking a breath. And then pushing yourself all the way up into seated, maybe keeping the eyes closed. Crossing the ankles, crossing the shins. Last little movements in the shoulders, the head and the neck. And then we'll reach the arms all the way out to a T. We'll inhale and bring the arms all the way up. Palms come to touch, and then we'll lower them down to heart center. Take a nice bow over our hands. Namaste. Thank you guys, as always, for coming and practicing on your mat with me. Thank you.